Hi everyone, welcome to this week's energy read. So I'm doing something a little different this week. I'm trying to mix it up. I have here Colette Baron Reid's Oracle cards. For those of you who are familiar with her, she is a psychic medium. Very famous, and she has a lot of different oracle card decks. This one here is my personal favorite. It's Wisdom of the Oracle. So basically it's a little different than a tarot deck. Her, or those designated by Colleen, designed the cards, and each one has a special meaning that we will go through. Now, of course, we won't go through all the cards. We're going to choose 3 like we normally do. They'll just be a little different than the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck that I usually use. So, in astrology, we have just begun Leo season, so happy birthday to any Leos out there. Next week, on the 31st, we have 2 interesting things happening. We have Mercury going direct, so Mercury will leave retrograde on the 31st. And then we have a new moon in Leo. So, Mercury going direct, well, it's very good news for many of you because communication sometimes goes a little wonky. There is a shadow phase that's associated with Mercury retrograde. So it doesn't disappear. The aspects of a retrograde don't just disappear on the 31st. They'll stick around for a couple of weeks after. The new moon in Leo, it should be interesting. Because of the way that it lands, this new moon, unfortunately, could make you feel a little stressed out or anxious because there's potential for some unexpected changes regarding love life and finances. So knowing that, we always are impacted by these planetary shifts, it's really important for you to be patient and cooperative and sort of take on that attitude during this moon phase. And then, there is good news associated with this new moon too, is that it's the beginning of a new cycle. It's, the end of one 28-day cycle, the beginning of a new one. So it's also possible for you to get a burst of energy and really feel the initiative to make a fresh start or get started on a new project. And of course, anytime that we begin a new cycle like that, sometimes it rumbles feelings of wanting to change old patterns or habits that really haven't been working for us. So that will be an opportunity for that next week. And I'll post an article about this new moon on the Facebook page if you're interested in reading it. Okay, so now on to the energy of this week. As usual, I'm going to choose 3 cards, and you want to predetermine what card you feel most aligned with, 1, 2, or 3. You don't want to do it once the card is chosen. You want to follow your gut and do it before the card is chosen. So we'll take the first card and the second card. So overall energies for the week. July 22nd. And we'll look for that third card. So card 1, card 2, card 3. Make your decision. Let's see what we've got. We've got card 1. We've got chop wood. So because these are Colette's unique oracle cards, it's not like the tarot deck where you automatically know the meaning of all of these. There is actually a guidebook that comes with all of her oracle cards. Now, chopping wood, if you think about wood, you know, generally we think about trees. So the main meaning of this card is all about being grounded and being humble in that grounded. So the message that goes along with it there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blossoms when it is in full bloom. This mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to let nature take its course, is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which bring you even closer to what you seek. So the additional messages relate to relationships, and then also to prosperity. So, you know, people often think of that as career and finances. So if you were looking at this as far as a relationship and the energy for this week, is the message basically says that it's really important right now to focus on what you need to do day to day. And let your heart remember that not everything has to be romantic, you know, overly romantic or passionate, or have some overt meaning. It may be a time, what this card is saying, where your relationship is going through a little bit of a lull because you need to be focused on those everyday tasks. And sometimes that's just the reality. Of course, we want to keep those components of, you know, romance and interest alive, but the reality is that sometimes we just need to focus on those day-to-day mundane things that need to be done. And that is basically what the universe is saying right now. The prosperity message. So if you're dealing with career and finances, this card is saying that it's important for you to not try to take large leaps right now, that you really want to try to take small steps on your journey. And again, to focus on those little things, those mundane chores, those things that may have been piled up, because oftentimes, obviously, if we let those little things pile up, they will end up snowballing into big things. So, in general, if I had to summarize that, this card is all about, you know that old Chinese proverb that says, you know, chop wood, carry water? Is that is pretty much the focus right here, is to really stay in your present moment and not tackle anything too big. Again, sometimes the messages are the opposite, but if you chose card 1, this is the energy for the week. Then for card 2, time for a nap. Okay? So, I mean, that card there is pretty self-explanatory, is that it is pretty much telling you that you need to rest. Seems like it could be the theme of the week. And the reason that you need to rest is because you need to rejuvenate before you can get that renewal. So it's just, again, it's just a temporary type thing, very similar to the last card. Interesting that both of them are these, you know, temporary actions and energies. The reason that it's telling you to take a nap and to retreat and to rest, to rejuvenate, is because oftentimes, you know, when we nap, we dream. So this card is all about encouraging you to do that. So the message with this one is, this is a time to step away and rest, to let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, your desires. Nothing is important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat, and rest. Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you. Absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement now. So, if you were looking at this reading with regards to a relationship, the message is basically not to make any plans or take any big action right now. That you want to, again, it really seems to be the energy based on the last card and this card, is relax and just be in that present moment. And if you're not partnered, it basically says that it's a good time for you to get that rest and rejuvenation and really figure out, you know, what direction you want to go in and what path you inevitably want to be on. So don't try to force anything right now. Definitely focus on the energy of allowing. Similarly, the card says that if you're asking about this related to work, finances, career, that now is a great time to take a break, step back, and that you can basically take this time to be introspective, to reflect, to meditate, and, you know, don't worry. With either of these cards, it's going to get back on track. Things are going to speed up soon. But, you know, the energy is definitely in stepping back with those two. Let's see if we get something similar or different with card 3. So card 3, we've got mending. So with the mending card, it is all about, you know, mending fences. So you want to, if you got this card, the message for you this week is really regarding making amends, forgiving someone, reconciling after some sort of argument. The message that goes along with this is, each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends with others, to set yourself free. So if you're asking this in regards to a relationship, the message is that it's very important that you come to a place where you can let go and forgive, which we know isn't always easy, but you're going to need to do that to step forward. That's basically the message from this card. Because those hurtful events are going to continue to impact you if you don't forgive them and let go. Even if you're not aware of it, even if you think that that's baloney, it really is having an impact on your energy. So again, to put you on the highest path, the universe is suggesting that you try to let go and forgive. The message that's related to business and finances is that sometimes we spend time chasing those, pretty shiny things, and they take us away from our true goals. So here they talk about making that recognition that sometimes we've made wrong choices, that sometimes we've let something shiny cause a rift, and that we want to forgive ourselves or forgive others who have done this. That you really, again, want to make amends with anyone who you've had some sort of hurtful experience with. Maybe someone who's taken advantage of you in pursuit of this pretty shiny thing. So, hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight for the week, a little bit different, using the Oracle cards rather than the Rider-Waite cards. But I've actually been doing so many readings this week with the Rider-Waite cards that I just wanted a little bit of a change and see what came up. So next week, maybe we'll try another deck, or maybe we'll go back to the Rider-Waite deck. I hope that you have a great week, and we'll be in touch next week. Take care.